Hi, my name is Shelley Appleton and welcome to my round yard. This is my beautiful mare Oreo again, and today's topic is cognition. So what's cognition? Cognition is a fancy word for all the thinking processes that go on behind how we acquire knowledge and understanding through our thoughts, our experiences and how we learn. And there's differences between humans and horses, and it's pretty cool to understand those differences because it can really help with training decisions. Now, complex thought is our superpower. Movement is the horse's superpower. But when it comes to cognition, we have some differences, which is quite interesting. So I want to go through a number of key topics related to cognition, which I think are pretty important to understand. The first one is memory. Horses have an amazing long-term memory, far better than ours, because we actually corrupt our memories continuously because we're always pulling them out, thinking about them, which means they change and then we put them back. So our memories are continuously corrupted. Horses' long-term memory is amazing. So what horses learn stays with them for a very long time. Now that can be a benefit, plus it also can be an absolute hindrance. Because if they learn something negative or bad, or they associate something negative, that can be a real training hindrance. So the training tip behind that is that you're going to make sure, I've just got a kangaroo in the bushes over here, you've got to make sure that horses always feel successful when you work with them. Okay, that they have a positive experience with you and they walk away with great clarity and understanding when you're working with them. So how you do that is always make sure that you start at a starting point where the horse is confident and comfortable in what it does, and you build from there. Sure, there's going to be some struggle and challenges. The horses learn stuff, but you want to make sure that you set them up to learn something that is achievable, that they can master, and that you take the time to allow them to master and then move on, because that makes them feel successful, and that's really positive. The last thing we want, the things we really want to avoid when we're training horses, is them to form a negative association with what they're doing. So negative associations can form, because that forms a really bad long-term memory. Negative associations can come from pain, just say from bad saddles, poor dental, physical issues, plus also from not having really good clarity, or for those people that flog their horses till they're fatigued and exhausted, or they've been riding around on the bit for 45 minutes with no appreciation of how that's making that horse's back feel, etc. So when it comes to memories, make sure the horse has a feeling of success and mastery in its memory of being able to navigate you and what you're asking it to do. So be thoughtful to how that horse is feeling. The next point is also about memories. How Oreo and I store our memories is slightly different. Humans, we tend to split memories up into small bits, and we actually store them in different parts of the brain. So if it comes to something we learned, we actually learn what we learned, when we learn it, where we were, who we were with, etc. And we split that up and put it in different places. So that means that specific information, we can actually pull out and apply. So that means when it comes to learning, we are very quick to be able to take something and apply it in different contexts. Horses and other animals do not split things up as much as we do. So they can actually connect what they learnt to where they are, and that all becomes packaged together. So anyone that has ever taken a horse to a show and wondered why the hell they got to the show and their horse didn't know anything has experienced this particular phenomena. Okay, that's because the horse might have been fine at home, okay, but you took it out to a different environment and it lost the connection of what it knows. So the training tip from this particular aspect is that we got to make sure that when we train horses, we give them enough experiences and enough different environments, and we take them out to allow them to have enough experiences that particular what they've learnt becomes generalized, okay, so they can apply that learning in different situations. So you're going to make sure that you give your horse experiences to cope with that different way that they store their memories. The next interesting topic related to cognition is horses are actually, that's like a whole heap of glass that has gone over. Okay, so the next aspect with cognition is horses are not so good at categorizing things. So we're really good and quick at being able to categorize stuff. Okay, so just say if it comes to horse floats or horse trailers, show us one and we can really quickly work out, yep, that's a horse trailer, so's this, so's that. Even though they'll all look different in different colours, we are really good at being able to categorise things and group them all together and know what they are, or know that they're no threat, or have an idea. Horses, not so good at that, okay? So if you're out and about and just say your horse sees a pot plant and you get frustrated because they see pot plants all the time. You know, you might even have some pot plants on your arena, but they go somewhere and they freak out at the pot plant. And you get really cranky with that because, you know, they've seen hundreds of pot plants in their life. No, they haven't seen that one, okay? Horses are not so good at categorizing things. So what that means, that training tip to take home, is that you're going to make sure you allow the horse just to take its time to get familiar with something. And don't just assume because it's seen it before it's different. Even if it sees something from a different angle, to the horse, that's different, okay? And if you make sure that you just let the horse get confident, give it a bit of time to acknowledge that, that's a really important way of building trust with the horse. Now, although they're not so good at categorizing things, they are incredibly good at differentiating between us. So they are really good at being able to differentiate between people, okay? And forming associations between people. So studies that have been done have been quite fascinating because horses are actually very good at being able to pick up our voices, what we look like, and believe it or not, they are actually excellent at being able to pick between human identical twins, much better than us, because they are fantastic at being able to observe, okay? Now the next thing is really a really important thing because it's really touching on what is our superpower and what is not a horse's superpower. Humans do have the ability to mind read. So by the age of 4, we form this construct that we call theory of mind, which means that we're actually able to look at someone, observe someone, and be able to read their intentions, okay? Now, to do that requires us to have self-awareness ourselves. Self-awareness, and then we can apply that knowledge and project it to others and be able to have a pretty good idea about what that person's doing and what they're thinking. Horses and other animals, they don't have that ability. So if someone's riding a horse and the horse is just, say, really good and they go, oh, the horse is so brave, so loyal, you know, or they go, you know, the horse misbehaves, so it's lazy and it's being spiteful. Horses don't think like that. Horses purely respond how they feel with what they know works, okay? So if what they know works is positive, that's excellent. But if what they know results in behaviour which is not so good, okay, that's up to you to be able to identify that and be able to work out how to make what they're doing not the thing that works, okay, and what you want them to do just to be the positive thing. So horses don't have the ability to have this self-awareness, okay? So horses just respond how they feel with what they've worked out as being the consequences, okay? So don't go projecting our abilities onto a horse. So the bottom line is, when it comes to cognition, the bottom line is, do not underestimate the cognitive abilities of the horse, but also don't overestimate them as well. I hope that was interesting.